Okay, we're here with another episode of Let's Talk About It. Got Sister Sylvia Hill, Transcending Heights, Empowering Each Other. New Age Black King, Splash, Dripping Wet Daddy, El Plaga Jr. And we are here, man. Rock with us, man, because like a DJ, you should not rock without us. Now, I want to go inside of my hat and pull out a word that you used a while back on one of your lives. I believe it was a Wednesday. And you came with the word, the idea of weaving Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Weaving Wednesday. So, I mean, please take a second to, give the world a little in-depth of where you were going with it.
Well, I think that most of us, as we reflect just over our lives and we reflect over our journey, and there are so many different pieces of our stories that sometimes when we're going through various things, we don't really understand why we're going through them. I believe on Sociable, when we talked on the last episode, we kind of talked about how even sometimes in our interactions with others, we may realize that people may not always treat us in the manner that we feel as though we should be treated, or we're not respected as we feel we should be respected. But what I've learned with weaving is to compose a connected whole by combining various elements or parts. So throughout our life, various parts of our stories kind of weave together. So basically, even some of the things that I've been through in the past, and I'm sure you can attest to some things you've been through in the past, when we go back and we look now, we recognize that that was an important piece to be weaved into our lives to help us to be where we are now.
I get.
To help us to be where we are now.
So basically, whether it be negative, positive, a little bit of happiness mixed with sadness, a little bit of joy, pretty much it all comes together and weaves into this intricate fabric called you. The future you.
The future you.
And what you're becoming and what you're going through.
I love that.
So you are not what you're going through. Believe that, man. You're going to get to who you are. So yes indeed. I definitely get that, man. Give us some more examples of how things can weave. Maybe like in your life. You know what I'm saying? Some of the good, the bad, the ugly, however you want to take it, like what made you becoming, the person that we all look to now is Sylvia Hill, Sister Transcending, the mother Transcending,
Okay, so for a long time, and I've shared this a good bit on Facebook and other platforms, but for a long time, I really struggled with self-esteem. I struggled with self-worth. When we talked about sociable, there were many times in social settings that I would kind of isolate myself. I would feel like I'm in a room full of people, but I would just feel as though I really did not belong. I did not belong there. But I will say this, that when I look back at those times and then I look where I'm at now, and I love how you say becoming, because I always stress that every day is truly a journey. Every day we are learning and growing more. So now I can walk into a room. I can hold my head up, not hold my head up as though I'm better than anybody else, but I can hold my head up because I know whose I am. I'm the Lord's. And I recognize that through Him, all things are truly possible. So even though back in the day, I may have felt like, oh my gosh, like you're so out of sorts, like nobody really understands you. And I would just kind of hold back and I would just look around and I would observe and I would feel like I was missing out on so much. But those experiences helped me. They really helped me because it helped me to grow and lean and depend on Him more. It helped me to really seek Him, and we talked about that some on Sociable as well, about when I really stopped focusing so much on the world and on people. And then two, part of that weaving was, as I recognized that, you know what, the Lord has given you everything that you need to be able to walk into a room, to be able to speak to people, to be able to speak with people, and to learn and grow from others and their experiences, and not to be afraid, not to fear judgment or to fear what people were saying and doing. You know, I used to walk into a room when we talk about the past, and sometimes our mind plays tricks on us. It could be true, but our mind can play tricks on us sometimes. So we walk into a room and we see people whispering, or we see people laughing and different things like that. And so what do most of us think when this happens?
You right.
That, oh, they must be talking about me, or oh, they must be laughing at me. So my mind used to play a lot of tricks on me. And sometimes it may have been the case, sometimes it may not have been the case. But what I mean by weaving, and even where I'm at now, those things really don't bother me anymore. You know, we talked about how sometimes things can offend you and all this kind of stuff, because I laugh at myself a lot now because I'm clumsy. And I mentioned that before on the Fun Friday. That sometimes we have to, that's part of the weaving too. I used to take things so seriously. And that's not saying that now I don't take, how should I put this? That's not to say that I don't take things seriously now, because I believe that my word is my bond. And so when I say I'm going to do something, I strive to do that, and I strive to do my best at everything. But I've learned to have fun and to enjoy life. And so it took a lot of situations of feeling left out. It took a lot of situations of judging myself harshly, and also feeling that others were judging me, to really begin to turn and say, you know what, I'm tired of feeling stuck. I'm tired of continuing to feel as though I can't move forward, and I can't really live out that life that I know He has for me to live. And so all of our experiences, even with that, if we want to be a part of something, we can do that. We can do that because first and foremost, He has no respect of person. So whatever He will do for one, He can do for someone else. And so part of that is just really going to Him. I always say that about seeking Him, because that really had to be what I had to do. If not, I know for a fact, one of your statements, that I would not be sitting right here now talking about this. I would not be putting myself out there. But He has really shown me a lot, that there are so many of us. And like I tell you, it's a daily journey. So many of us that we can't get past certain hurts, or we can't get past certain mindsets. But if we look at it like, wow, He still has me here. When I went through this or that, it actually made me stronger. It actually gives me even more of a voice to actually let others know that yes, we go through some tough times. Sometimes we feel, like I say, misunderstood. We feel as though we're alone. We feel as though, oh my gosh, they're talking about me. But you know what? He created all of us different.
But you know what intrigues me too is how you said, like, you'll go into a room and you'll feel like everybody whispering about you. They are. They were whispering about me, and I know for a fact, like, because a guy told me one time, he's like, man, yeah, we were over there whispering about you. They said, yeah, you were the guy that got arrested, parking lot, this, and the third. But just like you said, I mean, how great is it to be whispered? That's kind of like how we said the positive and negative, the weaving and things like that. Because if people aren't talking about you or saying something about you, then you're not doing anything, and you're basically invisible. And I'm not saying this so somebody will feel like they are invisible. What I'm saying is, man, you know, you have to look past all that, man. You have to be stronger than all that. And you do definitely have to have a sense of humor about yourself. I mean, bam, if I trip and fail and I ain't break something, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to get up, you know, kind of laughing, man. And I'm going to tell you, man, boy, you seeing, man, I feel hard. So when did it actually, like, begin to just click for you? Like, to just, I know it's still tough, because life is going to be tough. But I know you kind of told me, man, you felt like you had freedom at 40. Like, when did you decide, like, you know what, man, I'm about to pick up the pencil and I'm about to be a writer. I don't care about what the world may say. I honestly don't care. Because I know at one point in time, you really you've always been a humble person, a sincere person, and you've never been the type of person that want fame or any type of acknowledgement and everything like that. I want to make that clear too. But when did it become a point where you said, man, you know what? I'm about to go ahead, I'm about to bear my cross, and I'm about to put myself out here publicly with my message, and I don't care what people think. I don't care if people agree with me. I don't care if people disagree with me. And to each their own. I know it clicked. I know you do it for God. But when do you feel within this time of your life and through everything you've been through? When did it really click and kick you in the stomach and say, "Hey, don't worry about it. Go forward. You can do it."
Kick me in the stomach, huh? Okay.
Well, the knee, the shin, maybe.
Wow. I had to get kicked in the stomach, the knee, the shin, or whatever. So that is a very, very important and powerful question, because he has been working and dealing with me for quite some time. And I want to say back in like 2012, I started writing. I did start writing. I started writing just a synopsis of my life. But I will be honest, at that time, I still was not ready. Because as you just stated, I wasn't ready for what could be said, what might be said, and all of these type of things. Because I know, people are entitled to their opinion, so I'm definitely not knocking that at all. But I do realize that once you begin to do something and you put yourself out there, that you have to be prepared and you have to be ready for like the positives. You have to be ready for any negatives, any indifferences, and things like that. And so when I really, really began to just accept, I would say would be, we're in 2021 now, so I would say the end of 2019, I had finished with my second master's. And I decided at that point in time, you know what, it's really, really time for me to draw closer to the Lord. I've received all of this educational attainment. The Lord has saved me. He has allowed me to continue to be here. I keep running. And so that's when my journey really began. My journey began then when I said, you know what, it's time. It's time. I'm tired of running. Do you know we can run ourselves tired running from what he's been speaking to us to do? And so even now, and I've been very transparent with this as well, even now, I'm human, so I get nervous. Even right now, we're sitting here and we're talking. Yeah, we're brother and sister, but at the same time, you do get nervous sometimes. But I've learned not to allow fear to stop me from doing those things that he has instructed me to do, because you never know who you may be helping. You never know how, even being able to talk about things, that's part of healing. We talked about talking as well, and we have this as let's talk about it. Talking about things a lot of times can help you to heal, but then also you're allowing yourself to be that vessel, to be that light that someone else may need. To know that, you know what, I may not have been through the same things you've been through, but I've been through some similar situations. And let me tell you, the Lord has brought me through. The Lord continues to carry me through. And so when you ask, when did it really start? I've been running. I remember somebody told me one time I had running shoes, because I used to run from certain things because, like you say, that fear, that negativity about myself, negative self-talk. Who's going to want to hear what you have to say? Who's going to, really even care about you trying to be positive? What I'm saying, trying. I'm a positive person, but what I mean by trying, I think sometimes people think, a person is too positive, a person is this too, too this or too that. But for as long as I can remember, I've always tried to find the positive in any situation. Always. And I've learned that I can either look at something in a negative light, or I can look at something in a positive light. And what I mean by I always try to find positive, mainly with other people, but I wasn't so caring with myself, if that makes sense. Like, I always look for the potential in other people. I always wanted to help other people. I always wanted to just be there and show my loyalty. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. But you know what? I was missing out on being there for myself and connecting with the Lord more. And so a lot of times that's when we start feeling empty, or we start feeling void, and we start feeling like we've been pulled in all different kind of directions.
You just slapped me in the face with the Holy Spirit, because basically for the last 2 to 3 years I've been looking at the negative in everything, and I always find something wrong, man. So wow. And that goes back to, like you said, the actual weaving and how God, you know, we allow the Holy Spirit to take control of the stitching. I'm going to make that clear too, man. I'm not good at weaving, you know. It won't come out to be a quilt. It may come out to be a handkerchief or a snot rag. But when God takes control of the pen, you become an incredible, inspired author. When God takes control of the stitching, then you'll be amazed at what he can do for you. So with all this weaving that's going on in your life, what are some of the things that you are manifesting through this weaving that we can be looking forward to? I know I spoke on the other episodes about the 120 days of transcending, and you don't have to give us any details on when things are coming or what things are coming, but what things are you personally weaving together that you know that the Spirit is inspired and helping you to weave together?
Well, like I said, we have thrown out the 120 days of transcending. We have thrown that out before. I do plan on my first book actually being published this year. Like I said, I'm not going to give a specific date. It's actually in the process right now of editing and all of that. You know, that's the process as well. Just making sure that everything is together as it should be. But honestly, I have learned that even when I try to plan things, I don't have the power to plan things in the same manner that the Lord has the power to plan things. So I said that to say this. I mean, as long as he allows me to, and as long as the words keep coming, I plan on continuing my journey on Facebook to try to reach as many people as possible. And there have been so many people that have inspired me on there. So that's a part of weaving, and I'm connecting with people.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really plan on doing too, and I'm encouraging anyone who has not done it yet, please purchase Miss Lucretia Jackson's Your Past Does Not Define You. She just recently announced that her book is ready. I've already ordered my copy, and so I'm looking forward to reading it. So even with that, with weaving, I'm weaving and connecting with other people. I'm supporting other people, other authors, other people that have projects going forth.
Tina Presley, shout out to her, man. I got the book. I'm going to definitely show the book on my stories. I'll probably put like a link and everything in the description so y'all can get one of her books, man. Incredible Christian book. You know what I'm saying? I'm picking it up. I'm dabbling in it, reading it. But yeah, we're definitely willing to connect. And anybody doing things positive in the neighborhood, you know, we're working along too, like behind the scenes with some of the things going on, Raise the Youth. So, I mean, definitely, man, reach out, support one another. And man, back to you, Miss Sylvia. Back to you.
So, and I'm not doing any of that to be secretive, because I'm going to be honest with you, even if you would have asked me last year what was in my plans, I would not have been able to tell you that going live or being on Facebook every day was in my plans. So honestly, every day is truly, when I wake up in the morning, it truly is, without a shadow of a doubt, spending that time with him and just getting direction from him throughout the day. You know, I've made plans even for my schedule at work. Okay, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And I'm going to be honest with you. When I get to work, I might get 1 or 2 things that I had planned done. But so much more gets accomplished because I've learned to kind of let go. To truly let go and let him just instruct and guide. So like I say, I definitely see the book coming. 120 Days of Transcending. I plan on connecting with some others, like I say, that have projects going on. I'm all about supporting. If it's positivity, things that are dealing with youth and trying to be role models and templates for our youth. I'm open to all of that. And like I say, so much has come to me that I wasn't even planning, you know. So for me to sit here and say this is going to happen or that's going to happen, I've learned that things are going to happen in the timing in which they are supposed to. Because at one point, I felt like I was well behind where I'm supposed to be. But I'm going to be so honest with you all. He has shown me that it's not too late. The Lord has truly shown me it's not too late. So for anybody else that may be stuck in a cycle and you just wondering, like, when will this cycle ever end? Remember that He is always available. I don't know about you all, but sometimes I used to really struggle with going to sleep at night. I used to, because at nighttime it's quiet, everything starts settling down. So what are you left with? You're left with your thoughts a lot of times. You're worried about what you got to do tomorrow, what you got to do next week. So I've learned to just pray to Him about things, really trust in Him and believe in Him. And I'm telling you, He begins to weave things together for you like you could never even imagine. And you said a while ago that you're not even good with weaving and stitching. I definitely am not good with weaving and stitching. But I will tell you something. The way how He weaves and puts things together, like even sometimes when you feel like it's no way I'm going to be able to get that particular position. But let me tell you something. You appreciate where He already has you. You do what you can to learn with where you are. He begins to open doors that you never even imagined. That's part of the weaving. Because guess what? If you can continue to maintain somewhere where you feel like you can't really grow, but then that opportunity comes for you to go somewhere else, with increase comes even more responsibility. So He begins to place people in our lives when we least expected it. He begins to, the pieces become so revealed. You know, when you've been in certain relationships and you weren't really valued, then you begin to learn more about your self-worth. And so you know now what you look for and expect in a relationship. So when I'm talking about weaving, I'm talking about in so many different areas and aspects of our lives, even with certain careers. Think about it. A lot of times, whatever we choose to go to school for at first, we take some classes and we realize, you know what, I think I might want to try this over there. But the things that we learn in those other classes, that's still here. And so we begin to weave those things together, and it makes us a more well-rounded individual, and we're so versatile with the things that we can do. And so, like I said, every aspect, and I feel like I've spoken so broadly, because when I look at weaving, I mean, I could talk about weaving probably all day and all night, because so many things we don't understand at the time. Like, why am I going through this? Or why do I feel like I'm in the same position for so long? But you know what? Then once He brings us through it and we go back and look, so many times now I'm like, Lord, if it had not been for you, I can't imagine where I would be right now.
Where would I be?
So one of the things my brother did highlight for me, and I think it's very important with this weaving aspect as well. You know, I know a lot of people look at, wow, you know, she's always trying to come from a positive note. But I'm going to be honest with you. Just because I come from a positive note does not mean that I do not struggle. It does not mean that I'm not challenged at times. We all are. But like I say, I choose to find the positives because He's allowed me to be here. And so sometimes if we have nothing else to look for and to be like something to be thankful for, we're losing people all the time. Every day we're losing somebody. So if He woke us up and He's allowing us to see another day, that in itself, for me, is truly a blessing. And that in itself is enough for me to say, you know what, I'm going to take every opportunity I have today to make the best of it, because I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow. So today, so the positivity is not fake. Do I go through some things? Yes. Do my facial expressions a lot of times tell what I'm looking like? Really? So you're going to come and be like that? But, like I say, every day, I'm like, Lord, I need some patience. Lord, I need you to speak for me, to me, through me. Lord, what can I do right now to help this situation? And I'm going to tell you something. He weaves the pieces together. like you never even imagined. Sometimes some of the hardest challenges that we go through and that we face really only prep us and make us stronger. So when something else comes about, you know what? I got this. The Lord brought me through the last time. I got this. So a lot of times we have to recognize too that we go through things to remind us we cannot do things all on our own. We need him. We need him. And so sometimes when things are going good, we're like, yeah, things are going good. Woo-hoo. And sometimes we might slack. If we're just honest, things are going good. But it's nothing like when everything gets to shaking and it seems like everything is falling apart and you don't know what you're going to do, that we begin to weave back in, connect back with him. And it's like, Lord, I need you to help me. So I'm just reminding us that we have to appreciate, or we can appreciate. I don't like to tell people what they have to do because we all have a choice. But I've learned to appreciate the good, the bad, the things that seem very easy, the things that seem very challenging, because I realized we need all of those things to really weave us into who he wants us to be. And so I don't know about you all, but I know with us, every day we are just striving to be better people than we were the day before. We have so many conversations about lessons learned, about, you know, failed attempts with things or things that seem to be failed attempts, but we learn sometimes that it's just not the time for that right now. That doesn't mean to give up. It just means that we have to go through some things. I've learned that. We have to go through some things, but he weaves the pieces together, and then we go back and look at some point and be like, my God. My God.
What a mighty God we serve.
Yes, indeed.
I want to leave y'all with this too, man. No matter what it is that you're going through, man, do not shut down. Like, you got to be careful too when you know your purpose and when you truly have your purpose. Some people choose their purpose. They say, "Oh, look, I'm gonna write songs. I'm gonna write poems. I'm gonna be an author, or I'm gonna be an actor. I'm gonna be this, that, or a third actress." But when you're putting this out there into the universe, like I said, it's a line that leads to your success. And just like it's a negative and a positive, it's all the same. It's all leading to where you're going. Somebody told me one time, man, if you want to be a good songwriter, you're going to have to go through some things. So when you're deciding where you want to go at in life, man, don't shut down. Don't give up. Let's say you want to be a musician and you lose your job. You get fired at a job or something happens to the job. Instead of shutting down, keep in mind that that's only a stepping stone anyway. You're going to learn things there. You're going to meet people. It may have been somebody there that you needed to meet, that you needed to network with. So, I mean, just don't shut down, man. Keep it moving and interweave yourself with God and allow the Holy Spirit to weave your life for you. And keep in mind that you attract what you think and you attract who you are. And the world that you see is really a reflection of yourself and the way that you see and perceive it. So always be transcending, always be going up, always be evolving. Whatever comes your way and whatever happens, I'm not saying that you'll know how to handle it the perfect way at that time, but don't be stuck in that feeling and don't be stuck in that situation, because we're forever transcending.